Well, we're going to go out and we're going to do some Aurora photography. My Aurora app on the phone showed me there's lots of activity. We're expecting Aurora tonight. We're going to go on a drive out in the country. Now this is my nighttime photography bag here. And here I've got my star tracker. Won't be using that tonight. This is what we use when we go to the dark sky park to photograph the constellations and nebula, things like that. And I've got my glasses in here in case I have to see. And I've got my remote control. I'm not even going to be using that tonight. And I've also got my laser pointer here, which, well, I won't be using that tonight either. All we're going to use, I'm going to keep it real simple. I want to use my smallest tripod that I have. This is really light and fast moving. Got my OM1 Olympus right here. Won't be using that lens. That's one I use for deep sky objects. I will be using the 7 to 14 millimeter. That's this one right here. Got the 7 to 14 on there. This is an excellent lens for shooting the night sky. Oh, good on there. Okay. This is a wonderful lens for what we're going to be doing. 7 to 14, and I usually use it at 7 millimeters. Just put it right on this tripod there like that. Now, okay, so pointing mostly up in the sky. I'll be setting the camera on manual exposure right here, manual. I'll be setting my ISO. There's my ISO right there. I'll be setting it at 400 or 800 ISO depending. Be using my lens wide open at 2.8 and exposure about 10 to 20 seconds, all depending on everything. And for focusing, I'll be using the deep sky and with a large, I'll set it for starry focusing, and I can move the target around to whatever part of the sky has the most stars. I'll move that around either with the joystick or with the up and down arrows. Either one works just fine. And when I got it set for the most stars, I just push this button here and Starry Sky autofocus will run and the camera will focus on the stars. Then I will set my this here, I'm going to set that for a 12-second delay. Let's see, there's my 12-second exposure delay. Flash is off, of course. ISO is 400. Then I just check it out with matrix metering, and I'll see how it looks in the back of the screen. Then I'll take a picture and I'll check with my info reading. I don't have any shots on here right now, but when I do, I just push the info button and I'll be able to see my see what the exposure looks like. Just see, I push it, you get a 12-second delay here. That takes my exposure. When I look at it, I push the info button and I can see where my exposure is, and I can also look, see that little black blinkies, that's out of range, but it's going to work really good. So we're going to go out and take a bunch of pictures. I'm not going to use the intervalometer. I'm not going to shoot a time sequence. I want to make sure that I get lots of really good pictures. That's all. I want a variety. I want verticals. I want horizontals. I want straight up overhead. I want everything I can possibly get. When I've got a nice bank of Aurora photographs, then I'll start working and see what I can get. Now that's with that lens there, and the other lens I have that I would use would be the 12 to 40 millimeter right here. Now this one has a filter on it. I don't have a filter on the 7 to 14, and I think I might have a problem with some diffraction with the filter. We'll have to see how that works. But like I said, I'll show you some pictures we did with the tracker at the Deep Sky Park, and I photographed nebula and the Pleiades and other shots like that. Tonight we're going out for Aurora. That's all we're going to shoot is Aurora, and I'm going to show you the exposures we used and what they look like. So come on along, we're going to go out and have fun. Well, we're on the road out to the country. Let's see what we can find. What an exciting night. Wowee. Here we are, October 10th, getting some amazing aurora. Look at this. So beautiful. Wow. Look at the reflections on the lake. So happy to be here to see this. It's a miracle. So bright. Look at that sky. My goodness, that's straight up overhead. Wow. Look at the moon. The moon is just amazing there. The lights are just dancing in the sky. Phenomenal. I can hardly believe it. Look at that. So bright and so vivid. So vivid, unbelievable. Again, you can see the lake and the reflections, a little bit of the moon off to the left. Look at the brightness and its saturation. Wow, so beautiful. I couldn't hear them. In the Yukon, I've heard the sound from them, but there was no sound here. These are just fabulous over the fields here. I love it with the farm in there. This is in May. This was a little earlier. Driving around out in the farms in May. So beautiful. We didn't get home till like 1 o'clock in the morning this time. It seemed to be a bit later in May than it was in October. Still the same locations, beautiful pictures. So wonderful. Look at that cloud and the aurora behind it. Just wonderful. I could have taken a million pictures. Just could hardly restrain myself. I love it with the farms and the house lights too, and it seems to really add something to the mystique. Like, I think you could go to Norway or somewhere and not get much better, or any better maybe. This is very unusual to see this kind of thing in Ontario. What a delightful thing for me to see. And it was like a couple hours of driving each time we went out. It wasn't a whole lot. And I was only driving in the car. I wasn't towing the van along. Wow, look at that sky and the road. My goodness. What a delight. I love the farmhouse on the right with the lights on it. Wow, look at the trees. A car just went by at just the right instance to light up those trees. So wonderful. It's better to be lucky than to be smart, and I think I've been very lucky. Look at the reflection on the water there, my goodness. Bright, 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 so wonderful. I'm just loving it. I can't believe it, I really can't. We get aurora like this in Ontario. Now these are up in the Yukon. This is in the far north, and I got amazing. These aurora, you could actually hear them sizzling. I don't know why that is, that we don't hear that here, but you could hear a sizzle on these aurora. These are in the Yukon, and this is in Alberta, northern Alberta. Wonderful shots we got there. Now I'm at the Dark Sky Park. That's the Orion Nebula right there. This is a lake up there with the stars and the galaxy reflected a little bit. The Lagoon Nebula at the Dark Sky Park was just a wonderful place to visit. Now, look at the stars. The stars at night are big and bright, that's for sure. so wonderful to be up there. It's a 4, 5, 6 hour drive depending on traffic, and you get up there and you see so many stars. Thanks for visiting Bella's Vistas. Please circle back again real soon.